and welcome to another video. I'm back again. I'm on a good run here with making videos. So in today's video I wanted to talk about shopping. About going food shopping, grocery shopping, whatever you want to call it. And how it's changed over my recovery. And maybe how I've made that change, which might be useful for you. Maybe you don't go shopping, maybe you do, maybe you have to shop for yourself, maybe you don't shop at all because your parents do it or you have a delivery service, whatever. But I just thought I'd give you a little bit of my shopping history. At the start of my eating disorder, I was quite young. I was 14 I think, so I wasn't doing like shopping and stuff. But as soon as I sort of started in a very orthorexic way, so I'd go shopping and I'd go and look at what there was in the shop, so I could go and get some like leaves, go and buy leaves to see, maybe some carrots, no, but it's not funny to joke about here. No, I did used to go and used to get excited about my strange, weird little things that I could buy and make what I thought was healthy things with. Basically, really just not filling things. So I used to go out and I'd make my little weird tier things, and nobody else would have them because they just had normal things like chocolate and cookies and stuff that were actually nicer. And I'd go to the shops and I'd find new little tier things that were like no added sugars, not processed, all of that stuff, and I'd go and I'd have a look and I'd compare calories. Oh my god, that one's got no added blah blah blah, and that's, oh my cat. I used to get really excited about like, oh my god, this has no sugars in, I'll check the labels, but oh, that's a bit high calorie, oh that's nice and low calorie, that sort of thing. And I spend ages, like I'll go in the shops for fun, like it used to be a day trip, I'll be like, oh my god, okay, what are you doing today? I'm going to go to Sainsbury's, I'm going to go to Tesco's. And I would literally go shopping for fun because I found it so nice just to be surrounded by food. And I'd look at all the things that I wouldn't allow myself to eat. And I'll go to look at the bakery and be like drooling, but I'll be like, no, I don't eat that sort of stuff. Or then I'll go and I'll go and get excited about my healthy stuff. I'll go and get excited about my weird, no added sugars and not fun things basically, but I used to find it really exciting because it's the only food that I would allow myself to eat. So that sounds fun, yeah? No, that was really not fun. Really not fun. And the fact that I would see something and think, oh that looks nice, oh no, too many calories, it was really sad. Even the fact that it was probably something that it wouldn't have been like a chocolate bar, so it would have been like the raw fruit and nut bar, and I'll sit and go too many calories and have a freak out about that. And that's really sad. My cat is so distracting. The one time that she actually will spend time with me. I'm trying to learn to cope like a normal cat. Okay, settling. Not quite. Settled. Okay, so yeah, that used to be my shopping experience when I was sort of throughout my eating disorder. I was just go into the shops whenever I could and just maybe buying one thing but spending 3 hours in there. And so as I sort of went through recovery, I would rarely go to the shops because my parents didn't really want me to go to the shops because they knew that I was a bit weird about shops. But when I did go in there and say, my mum was like, okay, what do you want to get do you want to get something for your lunch? Something different, challenge yourself sort of thing. I'd go and I'd be scouting at calories and I'd be looking, I'd be stood comparing, I'd be in like a food coterie type thing. I'd be like, I don't know what to get. Like there'd be like pros and cons of each thing, and I could not make any decisions in the supermarket. I'd be there for ages. Or they'd say, okay, do you want to get some cereal bars for yourself? And I'd stand there and I'd be like looking at calories. Okay, look at those calories. Oh, look at the fats now. Oh, look at that. And that's not really recovery. That's really still stuck in like eating disorder, and the eating disorder was making all the decisions there. You can tell, because nothing in me was like, okay, just go for what you like the look of, or don't look at the calories, nothing like that. It was all very, okay, what's the calories in this, what's the calories in that, fat, where, which one, oh, I don't know. And it would just be a state, and then I would come out and be like, I hadn't got anything. I'm like, oh, I don't want anything, it's fine. I'll just have whatever we have at home, because it would just be so difficult for me to make decisions. And that was sort of throughout recovery. And that was like that for like a year, I'd say, a year in recovery, and I just couldn't make these decisions in the shop. I just really couldn't, and it was really, really distressing. It was so horrible, because everything was just seem horrible, and it made me sick. And I used to get this with when I was choosing food as well, but even in the supermarket, I get it, and I would just feel sick, and then I wouldn't be able to eat because I felt so sick. But I would eat, I'd have to. But I just had that feeling, like my stomach actually turned when I was making decisions between these things, and I think that's really sad to think that I got put that much pressure on myself to choose the right thing, when nowadays I just sort of pick it up and chuck it in the basket. So, as I got later through recovery, I started to do it less, and I didn't really care, but I still was looking at calories, because I was never sort of got uppity about sort of fats and protein and whatever. I wasn't too like funny about that, but I would still get a bit caught up like later in my recovery, but I'd still get really caught up in the calories, and I would sort of look at things, and I'd always look at the calories, and I'd always look at like which is the low calorie, okay, let's choose that. I'd always look at the low calorie. If I had 2 options, 3 options, I'd always choose lower calorie every day of the week at the shops, and that's really sad. And I'd never choose anything out of the bakery or the fresh stuff, because you don't know the calories, and I'd always just choose whatever had the lowest. And again, really sad that there's probably so many things that I'd have loved at the time that just weren't the lowest calories, so I didn't even sort of consider it. So after I went through the sort of calorie phases, this is when I really started to pick up recovery motivation, like 6-7 months ago, when I started being like, okay, let's smash it. Which I'm not saying at all that it's easy. I'm not saying I'm motivated. I'm like, yeah, throw that in the basket. Oh, yeah, why not? The bag of chocolate, oh, box of chocolates, oh, whatever. New cereal bars, oh, whatever. Lunch, dinner. I wasn't like that. I wasn't like that at all. But I was like really trying hard not to look at calories, and because that was the stage I'm at. That was the stage I'm at. It was the best idea for me not to look at calories. I'm not saying that's the best thing at all for anyone. I'm not saying it's a bad idea for anyone, because I'll tell you why. Because I think knowing calories is something you've got to get used to. In recovery, it really is, because you can't recover in a bubble. Think about like in the UK, Wetherspoons. Yes, I'll go to Wetherspoons, don't judge me. In Wetherspoons, they have all the calories, and you can't avoid the fact there's calories written down. So it's something that you have to learn in recovery. But for me, in my early stages of my actual like proper recovery, I call it, that started like 6 months ago, it was best for me not to know the calories, just so I could not get myself worked up about it. So once I had got to the point I could know the calories and be like, okay, I have no idea what I was eating before, so it's fine. It doesn't really matter what calorie count it is, because I've not known what calories I've been eating for months. So that's the sort of way forward. I was really trying not to look at calories and things like that, which was really hard, because truth be told, I would get the temptation loads, and I would give into that temptation. It's very weak of me, but I did it, and that was when sort of there was a big fight between the healthy boys and the eater sort of boys. That's when it's quite 50-50. I'd sometimes be looking at the calories, sometimes I'd be able to stop myself, but it's a very conscious effort not to, like very conscious effort. Like they are there. I don't know the packaging in different places, but it's just in the corner of most things, and I just pick up, first thing I see, pick up, I made a little rule that I cannot change my mind and put it back. If I see the calories, I cannot put it back. So, and you have to buy it, but the best thing is not to look at the calories, resist the temptation, and it's really hard because you have a big old urge to, but try your best to resist the temptation. And then, I guess I'm kind of living living proof. I make myself sound like I'm sort of God, but I'm living proof that the more you do that, the less you care. So I hope that I've got some footage of me rocking around a supermarket, which I'll put in here. That was tragic parking, absolutely tragic. Okay, see you in a bit. Which is what I'm like now, which is most of the time I can pick things up and not worry about the calories. I still have a little thing in my head that's a bit funny about it, but I know sort of what ballpark it's in. So that video you just watched, that's me finding my little, basically at the moment, I love having microwave meals for my lunch. So I'll have like a proper cooked dinner in the evening, but for lunch I'll tend to have a little microwave meal, like a desserty thing, like a little chocolate bar or whatever. And I don't really want to go into how much I eat in a day, but that's my sort of general gist, and obviously snacks and breakfast, whatever. But I have these little lunchbox type meals, and I'm getting to the stage where when it comes to that, I just choose what I fancy. There's some things that I look at and I'm like, oh, no, that's going to be higher calorie. So I sort of veer away from it, which I need to challenge. It's something I really do need to challenge, but I'm not stood there for ages. I just pick up what I think looks good. I spend about a minute or so just looking at what the options are, and then I sort of pick up and I have some of the things I had last time that I enjoyed, whatever. And it's so much easier. It's so much more free. I don't feel sick. I'm not stood there feeling sick. But it's being really aware of those little niggles that creep in. So next time I'm going to go and I'm going to get what I thought I wouldn't be able to do. Like, for example, there was a paella, like a ready meal paella, and I've had this weird thing about chorizo, like I was a bit scared of it. Chorizo, if you don't know, is like a spicy sausage. And I've always been really scared of it, and it was in this, and I was so tempted just to take out them out of the paella when I had it, but I didn't, because I was like, okay, if that got served to me in a restaurant, I don't want to be difficult ones to picking out my piece of chorizo, and even if it's chopped very fine, I don't want to be one of those sort of seeing a tiny bit of chorizo and putting it on the side. I don't want to be that sort of person, so I'm just doing it. It was lovely. But I've gone off a bit of a tangent now about my paella. But yeah, that's what I was choosing in the supermarket. It's just nice to be able to just throw things in. So each time I'm going to make sure that there's nothing that I'm looking at and going, oh no, I can't do that. That's what I really need to do, because I'm good at doing it in other places, but when it comes to mealy type things for lunch, that was something that scared me. That's why I'm challenging it at the moment. So it's like challenging the challenge, which is like the ultimate. You feel like a god once you've done it. After, if you feel guilty, then you feel like a bit of a god looking back on it. But challenge the challenge. So having cooked lunches as well as a cooked dinner, but then having a cooked lunch that you may find difficult, which is something I need to work on. Generally with snacks meals do things that I would have been more scared of in the past, and the higher calorie whatever, but with sort of, it's just about challenging every little bit, like breakfast, lunch and dinner. But I'm going off on a tangent, so that's why I was doing it, that's why I was getting those for lunches. So making a conscious effort when you're at my stage in recovery is making a when you're around, well, sort of when you're ready to do it, make a conscious effort not to look at any calories is what I've done. And then I'll see calories and they won't bother me as much, and I've noticed that in myself. Like I will, like when I'm making my things, I'll see the calories and I'll be like, okay, I don't really know what that is in relation to anything I've eaten, any lunches I've had this week, but okay, it just seems like a random number, and that's sort of what happens over recovery. You see it and don't really bother you. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter if that's 100 lower or 100 higher, it doesn't matter, and that's the sort of stage that I'm going towards. But I've had to go through that process to get here, which has taken ages, and it could have been shortened if I'd have just been a bit more motivated to be making sure I'm not looking at any calories, anything that might trigger me to make decisions, making sure my decisions are like bang bang, not stood around for ages. That's how I've managed to get to this point, and I hope that I'm going to be able to get further. I'm intuitive, and I just go to the shops and see exactly what I fancy and put it in and not even think about it. But tune in for that in a few months. Alright, thank you very much for watching. I'm sure I'll see you in the next couple of days. Look after yourself, and I will see you soon. Bye.